Welcome to Get Dressed with Merrick. Today we're going to talk about trends for 2021, which is a really fun topic. I get a lot of questions from you guys about like, what the heck is even in style? Is this trend going to last? Is it worth trying? How do I make it fit with the rest of my clothes? How do I not look like I'm 17 and, trying all these trends? So in today's blog post, I talk about a bunch of different trends that I'm seeing for 2021, some of my favorites, some that I really hate, chunky shoes. And then I go through 4 of them in a detailed way, showing, I'm calling it wear this, not that. And I show like a better option for some of those trends because there's a lot of variations within trends, and some are going to work better for most people than others. So I talk about that in today's blog post. Definitely swipe up and check it out, but I'm going to talk about a couple of them and show you examples. This outfit has 2 of the biggest trends for 2021, puff sleeves and straight leg jeans, the elusive straight leg mom jeans that we're all trying to figure out after years of wearing skinny jeans. Let's talk about puff sleeves. And can you think about puff sleeves without thinking of Anne of Green Gables? I personally cannot. The puffiest in the world. If you know, you know. Okay, so there are obviously levels, like I said, of each trend. You're going to find sleeves that are really puffy, that come high up here, ones that come out wide here, and that have different silhouettes throughout the bodice here. So I'm going to tell you that the most universally flattering are ones that are a little bit more of a subtle puff sleeve, like this. This is a longer sleeve, and so you have more room for the puff to kind of go here. If it was shorter like this, you're obviously going to get more of a puff out like this, which I think scares people. So maybe look for a longer sleeve if you're nervous about that and want to try it. Also, this has a little gathering up here, which gives it a little bit of the puff without it being too big. So the more ruffle you see here, probably the bigger the puff's going to stand. Another few things to consider when choosing puff sleeve tops is ones that are a little bit wider through here that you can tuck into. You obviously want a waist here. Defining your waist, especially with a bigger sleeve, is helpful rather than like just looking boxy and oversized all over on top. And also, if your top is slimmer, let me see if I can get this to do this. If your top is slimmer, it's going to make the sleeves look even bigger. So if you're worried about that, choose ones that are a little bit fuller through here to kind of give the whole top a little bit of balance. Last thing, necklines. If your neckline is way up here, you are just covered in fabric. There's so much fabric. So look for ones that have either the very popular square neck or a V-neck like this, or a scoop, or something that just kind of helps show some skin to kind of balance out all the material up top. Okay, let's talk about straight leg jeans now, the mom jeans. So I think we were all very scared of them because, we have terrible memories of the jeans that were around in the 80s. But I think the more that I've worn them, the thing that I really love about them, 2 things. One, I love the high rise and skinny jeans that were getting higher and higher. I felt like kind of created this weird, like ice cream cone kind of shape sometimes, where it's like, you get your full part up here with your little waist, and then it's like little tiny legs. And I think that having a little bit of a wider leg just kind of helps balance out that shape, especially as the waists get higher. So the straight leg, although you might be afraid of it, if you're doing a higher rise up here, the straight leg helps kind of balance out up here. Does that make sense? You still want to wear skinny jeans. And if they're super high rise, you do what you want. But I'm just saying that I think that the little bit more relaxed leg can be your friend. And if you find the right pair, which I searched and tried a lot of different ones before I found this pair, which is from Everlane. I will link it below. And I love these. I actually cut off the ends. I mentioned that in my blog post, but I cut off the ends. They were a little bit long on me. So sometimes you have to make little adjustments and try a couple of pairs before you find the right pair for yourself. But once you do, I think that you'll find that they are quite flattering and comfortable. And I think that they're worth a try. So obviously they're one of the biggest trends for this year. I don't think we'll see the end of them for many years. So I think you should give them a shot. And if you are more full up here, carrying weight up here, try even a wider leg. Not like super wide, but just even a little bit more wide. Play around with it, see what works. Okay, another huge trend for 2021 is this square neckline. And the first time that I saw it like really becoming popular, of course, the first thing I thought of was Elizabeth from Pride and Prejudice. This is like the neckline that she wore, and I am obsessed with it. I think it is extremely feminine. There are obviously, as I keep saying, variations on every trend. Some are quite deep, and I feel like it's hard to wear any kind of undergarment with some being so wide. But this one, I'll link this one below too. This one's just smaller, and it's not low in the back either, which I like. It also has this little fun peplum, and I just think it's cute. And the buttons are functional for you breastfeeding mamas. So the other thing is, going back to the puff sleeves that I just talked about, this has a little bit of puff sleeve, also a longer sleeve to kind of help balance out that puff. But also the open neckline here balances the fuller sleeve so that you get some skin balance with a little bit extra fabric. So I'm a huge fan. I think that these go hand in hand a lot with the bigger sleeve and the open neckline. So if you're wanting to try one, you might try the other. And I think it's a really, just a beautiful combination on tops and on dresses. I'm a huge fan. What do you think of this trend? This outfit has 3 trends that are huge for 2021. 1, a little bit of a puff sleeve. We're going to just call it a puff sleeve. 2, tiered dresses. And 3, braided woven sandals. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the puff sleeves anymore. I'm not going to talk about the sandals. I'm obsessed with them. They're great. Get them. I think it's a fun trend. And I think that they can be super classic too. But with tiered dresses, I talked about in my blog post what you should watch for. And I think that this is really important with tiered dresses, because when you get these tiered dresses, they're of this tiered style. It's typically these lines or these strips of fabric that are sewn together, and it's usually gathered like this. You can see how this material is gathered here. And so you're dealing with a lot of fabric. And when you're dealing with a lot of fabric, dresses can get really big. This one, not as big. It does have a little bit more of a slim fit. I still do like to add a belt to this to give it some fit. But with some dresses, and I'll show you the graphic that I put on my blog today, there's a dress that's tiered, and it's just, it like comes down from here and out, and it's gorgeous. But it is so much material, and like on the model, you're like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing. But if you actually put it on, you would be swimming in fabric and just drowned. Your body would just get lost in it. And so that is my biggest warning with tiered dresses, is to look for ones that have some shape up here. And if they don't, see if you can add a belt. If they have a seam right here, you can put the belt right over the seam. If the seam is like right below your bust and you can put a belt over that, then great. My body type does not allow for a belt to sit here. It'll just slide down because my rib cage is wider than my natural waist here. But I can put a belt here and instantly add some shape. Also, this one has a little bit of a higher neckline, but lower necklines, scoop, square, whatever, with these kind of dresses that have so much fabric are going to be very helpful, just to show some skin here and balance out all that fabric. So there's a couple of major trends for 2021. I've got more outlined on my blog today with some graphics. I think you'll love it. I will link that below. Definitely check it out.